First question is, do you believe Windsor is out of the recession, and what do you propose to do to promote job creation in Windsor and Essex?
Well, thank you for this question, Adele. Windsor's economy is recovering, but we are still in a very fragile state. Voters here will have a choice, and the choice in this election could not be clearer. On one hand, you have Stephen Harper and our Conservative government that has invested in a new border crossing, built the underpasses at Howard and Walker Roads. We also invested $9 billion into the Canadian auto industry to help maintain the auto industry here in Windsor. And we've invested more infrastructure dollars per capita than any other community in Canada here in Windsor, Essex. On the other hand, you have Brian Massey, who voted against funding a new border crossing. He voted against the funding for the Howard and Walker Road, and he voted against investing in the auto sector. What is even more shameful, but not surprising with a record like Brian Massey's, is that he has produced brochures claiming to do the exact opposite. When you are voting on May the 2nd, you need to ask yourself what our community would look like if Brian Massey got his way and none of these investments would be here in Windsor.
Okay. And our second question is on the environment. What local environmental issue do you think is most pressing, and what do you propose to do about it as a Member of Parliament?
Well, when I think about environmental issues facing Windsor, I believe the single most pressing issue is the environmental impact of having thousands of trucks idle on Huron Church every day while they wait to cross the border. The medical impact of those trucks on our children and seniors is devastating. One of the proudest reasons I have for being a Conservative is that our Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, has made a new border crossing in Windsor the #1 infrastructure project in Canada. The new bridge, along with the Windsor-Essex Parkway, will move traffic away from homes, shopping malls, and schools, eliminating the truck congestion on Huron Church. My friend Brian Massey talks about the environment in Huron Church often. He regularly holds press conferences right next to the road. The sad truth is that when he had a chance to do something about those trucks, he voted against funding a new bridge, and now he cannot even tell the truth about his record.
Okay. Our third question is, how has the use of social media affected politics in this campaign?
Well, you know, social media is a new, exciting, and rapidly evolving method that is being used increasingly in campaigns today. When you consider tools like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, I doubt that there's a campaign today that doesn't utilize one or more of these items on a regular basis. And I imagine as youth who are amazingly comfortable with these technologies start to enter the political world, their use will be far more central in the management of most campaigns.
Okay. Our fourth question. Do you believe Canada needs a national framework to deal specifically with the large number of people set to retire in the next few years?
This is really a complex issue, but one of incredible importance. It's also an issue where there is a clear choice to be made between a sensible budget offered by Stephen Harper and the reckless policies of Brian Massey and the NDP. Our Conservative government has brought forth a host of measures, including, as part of our last budget, a proposal to immediately increase to the guaranteed income supplement to seniors in need. However, Brian Massey and the NDP, on the other hand, are proposing an unaffordable policy that our children and grandchildren will have to pay for without realizing any of those benefits.
Okay. Our last question, the wild card, is one that I'm sure you're going to hear a lot door to door. And it is quite simply, what are you going to do for me if you're elected? Not me specifically, but I guess the average Windsorite.
Well, what the Conservative government will continue to do for Windsor is to work hard with the economy, bringing jobs here. We've already spent the most in the economic stimulus funding here in Windsor. We will continue to do that. We will continue with working with the new border crossing, continue to building up our infrastructure here in Windsor so that we get more businesses here. And the sad fact is that Brian Massey and the NDP voted against all of that in our budgets, and yet they are now taking credit for it. It is only the Conservative government with Stephen Harper at the realm that we are able to do that for here for Windsor.
Okay, well thank you very much.
Thanks, Adele.